Hello everyone, it's me Liz. Today I want to share with you how I healed my body and got my period back. Losing my period was not only physically draining but also emotionally. As someone who has regular periods, losing mine meant that my health was at an all-time low. I had put my body through so much stress by unintentionally limiting the nutrients and energy I needed to function properly. So upon realization that I was the cause of this, I went through 5 stages of change to help me get my period back. And I know that our journeys are so different and personal, and the way that IF affects our body is very personal too. But I hope that by sharing my raw emotions with you, it may help some of you out there who are not only struggling with trying to get your period back, but also with weight gain, self-love, and body acceptance. Alright, without further ado, listen closely and let's start with stage 1, saying sorry. Why say sorry, you may ask? Well, I wasn't the nicest to my body. Admittedly, I eventually fell into the trap of wanting to look good over feeling good. Although I did IF to help me curb my night cravings to feel better, deep down I also knew I didn't want my night cravings to result in weight gain. I didn't want to look undesirable again. I know, that's such a shitty thing to say to myself. To anyone. And yes, I am totally aware that makes me sound like a hypocrite because I always preach about feeling good. I am just going to be vulnerable with you guys and be honest about my feelings. As someone who has struggled her whole life with body image, I've come a long way and I'm so proud of it. But I still fell into the trap of desirability and focused more on looking good rather than feeling good. I had moments where I didn't feel confident in my body and I lost to my insecurities. But I am confident in my ability to call myself out and take responsibility for my thoughts and actions. My body obviously paid the price. At the end of my IF journey, my body was left feeble and broken. Although my body was weak, my mind was strong. I knew I had to do and wanted to do everything it would take to heal her again. This leads us into stage 2, finding. Before I stopped doing IF, I did hours upon hours of research about IF and the female body. I asked questions like, why did I lose my period? What causes period loss? How does IF affect women and men differently? Does IF cause women to lose their period? I read numerous articles and watched hours of videos, and I came to the conclusion. I had to stop doing IF now. Every hunger signal I ignored was my body's cry for help. And as my hunger grew bigger, the cries got louder. After I made my decision to return to my normal intuitive eating habits, which was eating 3 meals a day, I realized something else. By eating more, I was going to gain weight and my body was going to change. Isn't it ironic? The very reason why I began IF in the first place is the reason why I must eat more and gain weight to return to a healthier state. What goes around really comes around. So please learn from this. Set the right intentions to get to the best conditions. With this new plan in mind, it was time for stage 3, climbing. I was climbing the ladder of self-love. I must do what was right for my health because I love myself. I took it slow and steady, placing 1 foot at a time on the steps to recovery. I fed my body when she was hungry and rested when she was weary. From the month of October to mid-December, I worked out less, ate more, and I hated the scale a little bit more. It hurt to watch my hard work disappear right before my own eyes, but how I felt matters so much more. And I felt good. I could finally eat when I was hungry and go back to normalcy. I could feel my body slowly healing and reprogramming. My body was graciously thanking me for fueling her with nutrients and energy. And as a reward, my period came back. My body had missed her old self and she was finally back. However, soon a new self arose and she challenged me in stage 4, gaining. It's the new year 2021 and my new self felt heavy. My period was back and it brought my old weight along with it. I didn't have to step on the scale to know that. I actually haven't been going on the scale because I was afraid of the number it would show me. I knew it wasn't pretty, but I pushed this fear aside and continued to properly fuel my body. On February 1st, I stepped onto the scale for the first time in 2 months. I weighed 130 pounds and it broke me. I silently stood there with my mind screaming at me, "You are disappointing, you are back at square one." But you are a new person and you can get through it. The difference between me a year ago and the current me is that I no longer define my value by a number, and I no longer see food as the culprit to my failures. My value is simply defined by my existence, and yours is too. So yes, I gained weight, but I also gained wisdom. I know my body more than I ever did before, and I grew closer to her than ever before. I had this newly found admiration for my beautiful body and enduring mind. Together, they created an unstoppable team that charges my soul. I was rediscovering self-love and self-acceptance in earnest new ways. And this rediscovery led to the final stage. Stage 5, forgiving. I forgive myself for putting my body through harmful situations and neglecting its needs. I forgive myself for speaking the way that I did when I didn't feel so pretty. And I forgive myself for choosing looks over feelings and not listening to what I preach. What I've shared with you today is more than just an IF experience. It was my journey to recovery and rediscovery of my body, mind, and soul. Gaining weight gave me the wisdom to realize how to truthfully love myself. I want you all to listen closely to everything I've said. Difficult times are temporary, but the way you choose to react to them will leave a permanent mark in your life. We get to choose how our body and mind interact with each other, and that choice creates our soul. Our soul is ignited with the energy we feel it, and that energy is powerful. We must be attentive and intentional about the choices we make. So if you're someone who is struggling with your weight, self-love, acceptance, forgiveness, all of the above, just remember, your value is simply defined by your existence. Don't underestimate the abilities your body, mind, and soul possess. Allow yourself to be happy and love deeply. Choose wisely and live intentionally. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye. Mochi has a dear message for you all.
Everyone, you should love yourself because you deserve the best of the best. From Mochi. Okay.
Alright. Peace.